So we're in the middle of configuring EIGRP authentication. We've just broken the link between Beck and Rose. And so now we're going to specify the key ring on this end, and then we'll go over to Rose and configure her link back to Beck, and we'll see the neighbor association come back. So what we'll do is we'll do IP authentication. We'll do keychain for EIGRP 100, and the name of the keychain, which we set to secure EIGRP. While we're at it, let's go ahead and break all the other interfaces from Beck and just completely wreck our network. So we'll do interface fast Ethernet 0/2. We'll set that. I'm sorry, we don't have a fast Ethernet 02. So let's do all fast Ethernet 00, since we've already done 01. So we'll do IP authentication mode, and then we will set the keychain to that. And the same thing for interface fast Ethernet 1/0 and interface fast Ethernet 2/0. So now our network is broken. If we do show IP route, we see we're not learning any EIGRP routes from anyone because the other neighbors don't have MD5 authentication configured. So quick, let's go configure it on those routers so we can bring our network back up. So we'll go over here to Rose. We see there's our error messages here on the console. It came down, it came back up, the retry limit exceeded, and it says it's down again because of authentication failure right there. So I've copied out the keychain configuration. So now let's go into config mode. We'll just paste it into this guy here. And we'll configure the authentication on the interface. In this case, we'll do interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Paste in the authentication configuration. And just like that, the adjacency comes up. And if we do a show IP route, we're now learning routes from Beck about his point-to-point links, but we're not learning any of the routes from any of the other routers. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video here and I'll enter these same commands on John, Dave, and Jade so that you don't have to watch me re-enter the same commands over and over and over. We'll come back once authentication is up on all of the routers and we're learning routes like we should. So here we are again. We've configured EIGRP authentication on all of our routers. And now we're over here on Jade, and she knows about all of the networks all throughout the internetwork. So let's verify using some of the debug commands that we're actually using authentication and it's not just a happy coincidence that all this seems to be working right. So what we can do is we can go on any of these routers and we can do debug EIGRP packets. And here's all of the packets that we're getting regarding EIGRP. And we'll do undebug. And you can see right here, EIGRP received packet with MD5 authentication key ID 2. And key ID 2 is being used because if we do a show clock on this guy here, we see it's after 12:30 p.m. on the 26th, which is outside of our send and accept time. So we're using the second key, which is the infinite key. And that in a nutshell is how you implement EIGRP authentication and how you can verify that it's actually performing as expected by using the debug commands. And that concludes our lab on EIGRP authentication.